baby.
We in here, yeah, we in here, 'cause we been.
Y'all better get comfortable with saying black.
We in here, yeah, we in here, 'cause
Black versus the Board of Education.
we can't get rid of us now. We in here, yeah, we in here, 'cause we can't get rid of us now. And you know that we won't ever go, so you do what you want.
That's why we are indeed a whole mood.
That's it.
And a whole mood is definitely what we are. Welcome to another Monday of Black versus the Board of Education. My name is Miss Laureen, and we welcome you into this space. We have a good one today, and not in the vein of, we're happy to talk about it, although we are. But we have a serious one today. We're going to be talking to some of our partners down in Los Angeles who are actively on the front lines, serving the community as they transition through this process of dealing with the wildfires that have ravaged Los Angeles. And so I am so excited to have them here. But before we get started, I'm always going to let you know who's in the room with me. And today we're going to start over there with the gentleman in the blue shirt. Introduce yourself and let's go and get the party started.
How you doing, y'all? My name is Isaiah. I'm glad to be back here on the podcast for probably my second time.
Oh, well, welcome back. Welcome back.
Hello, my name is Adrian.
Hi, you already know it's Jazz again.
How you doing? It's Mr. Fox. Happy to be here.
And bringing up the rear is the baby of the bunch. Well, maybe are you the baby of the bunch still? I think she's still the baby of the bunch.
I am.
Are you?
I am.
Are you? No, I think Melissa's just about 18, Melissa?
Oh yeah, Melissa.
The baby's the bunch.
Baby.
Yeah, she's the baby. Go ahead and introduce yourself. And are you in Los Angeles too? Or are you not here?
I am in LA. Hi everyone, my name is Melissa. I am a freshman at UC Berkeley, but I'm currently at home in LA for winter break.
Now, let me ask you something before we get to our guests that are waiting in the wings, and I definitely thank them for joining us today. What were you thinking when you heard about what was happening and then you actually get to see it? So what was your first inkling that something just wasn't right?
So California and specifically Los Angeles are pretty known for wildfires occasionally, but this was really bad. And I think once it started to multiple started to pop up and it started popping up all over the news. And I personally know people who lost their homes. I think after that's when it was like, oh, this is really bad. This isn't just like a couple of wildfires. Like once you started seeing, like I could see the flames from my house, like looking outside of the window, watching the sunset and being able to see flames in the distance. Like it's usually not that bad because the areas that usually catch fire during wildfire season are not near me. So I hear about it without seeing it, but being able to see it was absolutely insane.
So I know I had texted your mom and I wanted to make sure you guys were okay. Did it get close to where you were or?
No, it wasn't directly close to where we were. There was an evacuation warning for a city that is like one of our neighboring cities, but it never got to us.
Okay. Well, I'm so thankful that you guys are okay and that it's in the neighboring cities. But we have some very special ladies that joined us today, and we're going to bring them on the screen because I know that because they're active and there's a lot going on. We want to make sure that we honor everybody's time. If you have to jump off at any time, please feel free to do so. But I want to welcome you to Black versus the Board of Education. I will start with Miss Brittany. If you go ahead and introduce yourself, and we can go to the next ones.
Hello, everyone. I'm Brittany Walker, founder and CEO of Butterflies Haven here in Los Angeles.
Welcome, Butterflies Haven. And Dr. Charity's in the building. Hey, girl, hey.
Hey. I'm Dr. Charity, everyone, the CEO of CASA of Los Angeles, which stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates. And Brittany, look at us matching, car and everything.
Y'all doing it. And I know Crystal's somewhere in the back. I saw her on camera a moment ago, and I'm going to give her a chance to pop on. Oh, there she is. Is she in the car too? Hold on. What's going on? Do I have you in the car too?
Yeah, I am in the car.
So everybody's in the car. Is that because you guys are on site somewhere?
I am. I am. I have to step in the car so you guys can hear me.
Mhm.
Okay, so where are you located, Crystal? Wait, first of all, introduce yourself. I know I see your name, but I want folks to know who you are and the organization that you're representing.
Hi, everybody. I'm Crystal Lopez. I am the founder and CEO of the Juicy Little Society. We're based out of Altadena and LA.
Perfect. And so where are you located in the city right now? Because, for me, and I always tell the three of you this, when I think of anything below Bakersfield, that's all LA to me. So why don't you tell me where you are stationed at, Crystal, and I'll ask some other stuff because I know some other things about you, but go ahead.
Okay, so right now, I'm a part of our Dina Relief Drive is organized out of Pasadena at the Flint Ridge Center. We actually just started a second location today at the Pasadena Church on the east side of Pasadena, which is actually the side that the fire started at. And we didn't really have any drives or any resources on that side of the city. And because we had a surplus of items, we have enough to kind of start other drives in other parts of the city. But right now, in this exact moment, I'm actually in Eagle Rock, which is literally right next door to Dina. And the reason why is because we are actually setting up a storage space. Someone has donated their backyard for us to utilize for storage because we are just overwhelmed with the surplus of clothes that have came in, and we needed more space. We still need more space and locations to organize, sort, and filter through all of these things. And so right now we are setting up the tents and pallets in this lady's backyard who was so kind to donate it, because we have a 26-foot U-Haul truck filled to the rim of unsorted bags of clothes and shoes. And yeah, so I'm on it.
All right. So you're in Pasadena / Eagle Rock / serving Altadena as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're in Pasadena, so this is just like a storage space we're using right now, but we're stationed in Pasadena right now.
Right. And Brittany, where are you doing your outreach and
We
serving?
just got back from Pasadena not too long ago, but we're stationed in Los Angeles off of Crenshaw and Vernon. And Crystal, we do have capacity for storage if needed. Prophet was so kind to actually donate the building on Crenshaw to us to utilize during this time, and it is a lot of space. We
Oh
just
my gosh.
circulate a lot of our donations out, so we do have more room. There's still a lot of stuff, but the space is massive.
Please and thank you, girl. We will definitely follow up after this call because you
Absolutely.
just took a weight off my shoulders. I'm whooped and I refuse to stop going. So I gotta keep going.
Absolutely.
I'll figure it out. Seriously. But thank you.
And
'Cause we need
and
it.
Charity, where are you at?
I'm in LA County. We're all over the place, but we're bouncing between helping friends who have personally lost everything. And we have quite a few group homes in the Pasadena area, 5 of which burned to the ground. And so trying to identify young people that have been impacted who are now staying in hotels, figure out what resources and support they need. At staff who have lost their homes, who've been displaced, who've had to evacuate, as well as some of our volunteers. So right now, trying to identify who the people are and what type of support they need so that we can go run around so and Brittany and everybody else and start gathering items and taking them off your hand and getting them to folks. So, right now everyone's it's just devastating, and
Yeah.
the worst position to be in as a leader is to not be sure how to help people during this time because you're responsible for people, the children you're serving, the families you're helping, your staff, yourself. And so just trying to make sure we're doing a good job of identifying who needs help, but most importantly, what do they need, and asking that question. But it's just devastating. Folks are numb. But the community is really coming together. It's beautiful to see folks like Crystal and Brittany and others just drop everything to figure out how they can show up in support of their community members, even if they're not part of our direct service population. It's like, who has a need, and how can we support you? It's been just a moment of community coming together in support of one another. And I know there's a lot. And let me stop before I answer all your questions, but we're all and just literally building the plane as we go so that we can show up and help folks.
And so
And
I know
I'm
who is
sorry,
that?
Lorraine.
Who is
Let
that?
me jump
Brittany?
in really.
Go
Yeah,
ahead, jump in.
sorry, really quick. Charity, we have 3 beds available if
Oh,
needed.
did you go back on mute?
Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you for
No,
that.
I don't hear
Okay.
you anymore.
I said we have 3 beds available if needed.
I don't know
That
what happened.
we're
You may
offsetting
need
to
to go out and come back in
survivors.
because we totally lost your voice.
We can hear you, Lorraine. Can you hear me? We can hear Brittany.
And so while we're doing that,
I
the
can hear
reason I
y'all
wanted
too.
to do this particular
We
show,
can
there's
hear
a
you,
lot of
Lorraine.
conversations happening
I don't
online,
think
and there's not a lot of folks really being empathetic or sympathetic on one hand, but on another hand, you have some folks who are very, very concerned about what they are seeing. So, Crystal, can you tell us kind of how these wildfires have personally impacted you? Because I know we spent time on the phone. Was that Monday? But I want folks to know that Crystal is a student or was a student that came through BYLP. We have been very close over the years, and I used to come to LA because y'all know that LA is like my second home, right? I go there often, and when I would come there, I was always meeting Crystal in either Los Angeles off wherever we ate at. I don't even know where it was because, like I said, everything below Bakersfield is LA to me. Or we were in Pasadena or Altadena. So, Crystal, can you tell us kind of how this has impacted you personally? And then we're going to move to the cast members. And if y'all have questions, we're going to start getting into it. Girl, focus.
Okay. Y'all can hear me, right? Everybody can hear
Yep.
me. Okay. It's just crazy. I've been avoiding this question, mind y'all, because this is so personal. I've been having to stay busy just to, kind of just not be slammed with it. But this is really personal for me. I'm from Aldina. Everybody know that. That's my city. I love my city. I love Dina in general, but I'm born and raised in Altadena. And it's a lot. It's so messed up, honestly. My grandmother's house, my childhood home, burnt, it's gone. Everybody who I know, everybody I know in Altadena, everyone's childhood homes are gone. Everyone's grandmama house is gone. Um, Even the homes that they don't wasn't in the family anymore, but everybody still goes and everything's gone. Every place that I've ever been to when I was younger in Altadena is gone. The library, the everything. And then then we also were conducting business in Altadena, and so we had a space out there that we used to fundraise. We used to run our youth programs. It was really low key, like our clubhouse. To be honest with you, we would do sleepovers there. We had movie nights. Whenever we would do natural high retreats, that was where we would all meet and station at. It was just like the biggest space we had access to overnight and whenever to be able to do whatever it is that I wanted to do for the youth and for the community. And it was also our one of our major storage locations. And so every single thing that we had at that Masonic Lodge is gone. Everything we did, everything we used for our youth, just everything. And even though I'm sad about that, I'm more overwhelmed just about everyone's homes. And so it's been really, really hard for me to even really focus on the losses that I've taken from the fires because everybody else, everything else, and everyone else around me is just a lot more important right now. It requires a lot more attention, a lot more support. You know, I lost things that are replaceable. A lot of people that I love, you know, lost things that we can't get back. Our childhood, everybody's house, everybody grandmama house got all the photo albums in it. You know what I'm saying? All the pictures that ain't digitalized, all the pictures that, you know what I'm saying, you only gonna be able to reminisce on at a family reunion and when everybody gathers for the holidays. The stuff is gone. It's just sad. It really is. It's really sad. And I ain't gonna let y'all get me emotional because I've been doing real good. I'm doing real good. And I'm gonna keep doing good because I gotta stay strong for this operation that I'm a
Yeah.
part of because it's a massive operation. And as overwhelming as it is, I'm so proud and so happy to be a part of it. And I just hope that I know that my time, work, and effort is going to pay off, because I know that I'm very intentional about identifying and serving these families directly. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, it's hella personal. It's hella personal.
Yeah, and I want you to take a breath because I don't want you to get emotional because then I'm gonna probably get emotional. So you take a break. And Brittany, you were gonna say something before you popped out. So is your microphone working yet?
I think everyone heard me but you, but I was just letting everyone know
Oh,
that we have 3 rooms available for the families currently at Butterflies Haven LaSalle.
okay. Butterflies Haven LaSalle. And so, as we're Melissa, I'm gonna start with you. Do you have a question that you want to ask before I go in room in the studio right here?
No, you can go ahead and go in the room first.
Jazz,
Why you choose me?
because you right next to me and I said it. That's why.
That's all right. Just hearing you guys' personal stories, I feel as though as well, like the amount of empathy and sympathy is not as much as it should be towards this, because I don't really feel like people understand necessarily how severe it really is and how personal it can get, and how, like you said in a moment, all of your memories, all of your family heritage and things could be gone. So like, what role do you guys feel like the storytelling and the sharing of these personal experience can play in helping the community heal and kind of move forward, or like begin a recovery process? Like, how do you feel like just these experiences and sharing them, how do you feel like it's going to help move that forward?
Yeah, I can hop in here. And Christoph, sorry, I had no idea you were from Altitude, and I can only imagine the anguish you're feeling right now, and it will grow and in the days and weeks. So just incredibly sorry. And to your point, I go online and I see that there is a lack of empathy and compassion for folks impacted by the fires, because there's this narrative out there that it's only celebrities or rich people that have been impacted
Mhm.
by fires.
Right.
Reality is that even if it was only rich people and celebrities, these are folks that have worked hard for what they have. These are folks that also have memories in their homes and are deserving of that memory they have from their grandmother or their childhood or their children. And so we need to show sympathy and compassion for everyone, but also
What happened?
to my ignorance, I had no idea the thriving Black community that existed in Altadena until one of
Mhm.
my friends whose house was burnt down was impacted, and I realized that there's this whole thriving Black middle class community in Altadena that was destroyed, that was wiped
Mhm.
out, that
Right.
was sacred. These are people whose families have literally put themselves up by their invisible bootstraps to create something, and create something in a non-incorporated part of town where they weren't subjected to a lot of the redlining and discrimination and racism that was still existing, and were able to persist through that. These are memories that have been to a degree hidden so that they could
Mhm.
remain sacred and safe and preserved, and that was wiped out. And so
Mhm.
these are real people with real lives, and generations of people that have been impacted by the fires, who people have to start over, and who have to
Yeah.
start over in a world that's unfair and that's not equal and not equitable. These are people who
Right.
lived in apartment buildings, and people who
Mhm.
were middle class and lower class people. My assistant lived in the area and had to be evacuated, and the apartments that she lived in were burnt down. And so these are
Mm,
people who have to not only navigate extraordinary loss, but also have to navigate, how am I going to get to work and keep a job and continue to get an income while dealing with this tragedy, because insurance doesn't cover your job or your
Mhm.
as a result of the destruction, the devastation that exists when natural disasters and wildfires happen. So we need to really, and it's so easy to not have that level of passion, compassion, and understanding when you're detached from it, when you're removed from it, when you're not personally impacted by it. And for me, this was a moment of deep reflection, and to really sit down and ask, what if it was me? what would I
Yeah.
do in a situation like this? What would I grab? Like having to go through that scenario with my own kids, like what would we grab in this situation was just so heartbreaking. But most importantly, how would I want people to see me? How would I want people to show up for me during this time? Even the little things, saying, well, your life was spared, all of that can be replaced. To Crystal's point, everything can't be replaced. And so now's the time to, yes, value the life that was preserved, but also value the memories that can never be replaced. The pictures and the stones, or the things that have been, you know, left over from relatives and family members and people, beloved people that have passed on. Those things can't be replaced. And it's also re-traumatizing. We have so many
Yeah.
kids in foster care in that area who have already experienced extraordinary loss and trauma. And imagine the re-traumatizing they're experiencing, the re-traumatization they're experiencing of losing something else and having to be removed from something else, or people who have experienced
Yeah.
type of loss in the past and have lost again. Like there's layers to this. And so we need
Yeah.
to just be extremely compassionate and understanding of anybody going through this, and really ask folks, what do you need in this moment? Or just shut the hell up, honestly.
That part.
Mm-hmm.
That part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. My family's from LA, specifically Pasadena. So a lot of my family members lost their homes, and my aunt and uncle had to evacuate, and their whole backyard is burned down and their neighbor's house is burned to the ground. Um, so I'm seeing how it's affecting them and how they're keeping their spirits up while trying to rebuild and help out around their community. So I wanted to ask, how are you guys seeing um, your community, specifically in LA, step up and come together and find ways to keep their spirits high while dealing with the loss of everything?
Crystal?
I can answer. Oh, go
Oh,
ahead,
You can
okay.
go
Crystal.
Come
ahead.
on, Brittany.
You can go ahead.
Come on, Brittany.
Well, I know for sure we've seen tremendous advocacy happening here in Los Angeles with individuals showing up, from allowing, back to Crystal's point, someone's home being a drop location for donations to be able. I know within our organization, we've operated from 9 to 11, 7 days a week, for us to be able to pick up donations, for people to come pick up donations. And we've also personally driven donations to families that have been relocated in the Inglewood area, Linwood area, and went to Altadena and Pasadena. But we're all coming together. Even when you're in the stores currently, there's a difference in just the ambience of how people are showing up, how kind they are, the conversations that are occurring. And I think we just need to continue along that road. And also,
I think we're having a problem with the audio. I think you keep getting.
outside of
Okay.
the donation.
Yeah, it seems like you're in like a difficult spot. I'm not sure we're getting like we heard something about being in the stores and how people are showing up, and then you said outside of the donations, and I did not get the rest of what you were saying, love. So Crystal,
Can you hear me now?
how? Yes, I can hear you now.
No, we can go ahead and jump to Crystal. It's fine. I'm gonna try and
No, I
find a
can hear
different
you now.
location.
I can hear you now. I think you stay there. So what were you saying? Stay there because I think I hear you now. No.
I was just saying that I just want to be able to see us continue to show up for the long haul and not just stop at the donations and us showing and dropping care packages, but to Charity's point, checking in. What do you need? How are you? But also us showing up on, and this was a question, Charity, I asked myself also, was if it was me, how would I want someone to show up for me? making sure we're giving how we will want to receive if we were in that situation. But to the larger part, us being able to make sure the families that are displaced when Altadena and Pasadena is rebuilt and the work is being put in to make sure
I think she said to make sure of it.
Okay. So if you're just now joining us, we are talking Roots of Resilience, bringing hope and help to communities impacted by the California wildfires. We have the CEO of Butterflies Haven, Miss Brittany Walker, on the line. We also have Dr. Charity, CEO of Casa LA, on the podcast, as well as Crystal, who is the CEO of Juicy Little Society. So Crystal, same question to you, and then we will go to someone. Isaiah, see if Isaiah has a question. Do you have a question? Yes or no? Because
not at the moment. No.
Okay, then we'll move over to Fox after we hear from Crystal. So, Crystal, how are you seeing people show up? Was that the question, Jazz?
Yes, that's what I asked.
Adrian. Okay.
I mean, sorry, y'all can hear me right now?
Yes.
You can? Okay. People have been showing up and showing out, to be honest with you. It's really like beautiful to see because it's very different. You know, if you from Dina, then you really understand how much like the gangs have divided our cities. You know, just Altadena over Pasadena and just all the stuff in between. And I think that I'm not happy for this happening, but I do know that the good thing coming out of this experience is that it's making everybody realize how much we really are one when it comes to Dina, how small Dina actually really is. No matter where you're banging or where you're from, your roots start on the opposite side of the tracks at the end of the day. And everyone is forced to, you know, be reminded about that, you know, and then you also have people who would normally be shooting at each other on the front line, passing food out, helping out families. Like there's so much things that don't matter right now that were the only things that mattered before this fire. So I've definitely recognized that because I'm seeing it with my own eyes and it's like unbelievable, honestly. You know, and then just other than that, I guess I would say orgs, like a lot of orgs that were all doing their own thing, all doing the same thing, but doing it separately, doing it independently. Everybody want to get their own credits and clout. Everyone's coming together. It's not about nothing and nobody else except for these fire families and even just the city as a whole. There's been a lot of celebrity. There's been a lot of people coming out and a lot of hype and a lot of clout going on. I appreciate that, but I just care more about the fact that everybody is really genuinely showing up to serve and to be helpful. We got people from all over LA, all over California, pulling up to these drives to volunteer. Sometimes there's not even enough room. Like things that would normally take us, even if it's something that would take us 20 minutes to do, is getting done in 60 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And so it's just like, whoa. I'm like, wait, all them waters has already moved. Like it's just crazy. We got assembly lines. Everybody just is having fun with it. They're playing catch. The men are playing catch with the cases of water in the assembly line. They doing the Cupid shuffle. It's just everybody's like the energy is real genuine and real pure. And to be honest with you, it's been a long time since I've been around numerous of people at one time, and the energy was just good and consistent. And that's what's going on over here, honestly. Like everybody's coming together. There's no divisions anywhere. Even the drives, like every single hub in Pasadena right now, shoot, even from LA and anywhere else, we're all working together. We're all supplying each other whatever the other one doesn't have. People that don't even want to start collecting donations, that just want to start off, we're helping people start hubs. You know what I'm saying? We're helping them have all the necessary supplies that they have. So it's just bomb. It's a whole lot of teamwork going on around here. So
I love it. And you had a message for you in the chat that somebody sent just for you. Fox,
I don't. Okay.
You don't see it? Okay. I'm put it back up. It's just for you. It says, "Hi, Crystal. I love you."
Hi, Mama Candy. Thank you. I love you too. Hot water.
I walked cornbread and got hungry.
Fox, you got a question that you want to ask? You okay?
How you ladies doing, man? Big ups to you, man. Dr. Charity. Big ups to you, Brittany. Big ups to you, Crystal. This question is for all of y'all, but more so it's focused more towards Crystal. Um, it's hard, man. You know, when tragedy happens, it's, you know, fires happen, death happens, gunshots happen, all these things happen. But what makes this a little bit more different in this significance, you know, is for like you, Crystal. Uh, I got a lot of homeboys from Dina. Me and you have talked many times, and I know what you're speaking about when you're talking about the crossfire because across the bridges between Altadena and Pasadena and Devil's Lanes and the Dinas and you know what I mean, and all the dysfunction that tore them down, and that was still currently going on before the fire started. These people would not have went to the same store and bought a soda. It was literally, it has literally become that bad on the streets of Dina amongst the African Americans, the blacks, the even the Mexicans and whatever race you want to name, but mainly I'm speaking on the blacks. You know what I mean? And for you to witness with your own eyes something that would have never brought them together before, to see them passing out bottles of waters and stuff like that and getting it together. But what is a more tragedy to me when I see you when we was able to call you the other night and talk to you, you were sad. And one of the things that had happened was you was moving forward, you was pushing, and you was trying to help everybody, and nobody had yet asked you what you did. And what I heard in the background with your baby, your daughter, and she said what every child always says, "Mommy, I'm hungry." And you know, you had been helping so many other people where we ain't even got daughter ready yet, and she was acting bad, and you still had time to be a mother. But how does it feel when you're in a situation like this? When, as I'm listening, all the stuff that has gotten burned down, and I hear it about the families and the homes and stuff, but the group homes, the Salvation Armies, the places that are in establishment to help people that need help. Now the people that are set forth by the community to help people that need help can't help people because they don't have what they need to help people. They can no longer go home to their own home, sleep in a bed, wake up in the morning, and get ready to go help people. Crystal does not have the storage space she needs just to store stuff to be able to help.
Until we got Brittany on the phone. Now she got it because they're gonna hook up after this call.
Correct.
I'm gonna share the contact.
But that's, how does it feel when? And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean you getting up still when you don't even have your own. You drinking the same bottles of water that the people are drinking that need help, and that's not a clowning point. That's to say, like, the people that need help are still getting up to help people, and that's what I'm giving all of y'all a big ups about. But I know, Crystal, you from Altadena, you know what I mean. And for me to sit up here and talk with you on camera, you know, big ups to you. But I've talked to you off camera as well. You know what I mean? And I know your struggle, and I know enough to say you was doing stuff behind the scenes before this. Yep. You know, and you came from struggle yourself. You know what I mean? Not to sell your story out there because your story is your own story to tell, but you came from struggle yourself. And I've always had conversations of strength with you. But to see you at this level of strength while this is going on, it's amazing. And I'm wondering, out of all the things I've been through, I ain't been through that. How are you still getting up?
Yeah.
When all your friends, your family, and you and your own child that you have at home, your own personal child at home that is in need right now, how are you still getting up and being unselfish?
And the baby's in the background.
To be honest with you,
and I didn't mean to bring you to tears, girl. I'm just telling you, I feel your struggle. Big up to all of y'all again. Big up Miss Charity, big up Brittany, and big up to you too, Crystal. I feel y'all.
Yeah, I do. You're trying to make me cry, Fox. You think you slick? I cry, but you know, honestly, it's just like first of all, I feel like when it comes to when I thrive through chaotic situations. That's one thing that the struggles that I've been through as a child, through foster care, the streets, all of that. That's one thing that I've learned is that I thrive through chaos. That's something I just know about myself. And so, you know, any type of clutch situations, that's when my power gets activated even more. So I think that's one. That plays a major role. I feel like everything I've been through built me to be able to do this, which makes everything I've been through worth it. You feel me? Because today I'm 10 toes strong, honey. Okay. But honestly, I'm doing this shit to say, I'm doing this. Sorry, excuse my language. But I'm doing this honestly, like, this is the only thing that's allowed me to be strong. Like, if I sit still, I haven't even been home. Like, I'm not at home. I'm staying in Pasadena. You know what I'm saying? I am like, even with my daughter, me having to get her situated, me having to not, like, I have to get her stable. Like, she's been with my play sister in Pasadena, where she's been keeping her, and I'm still right now trying to navigate and situate my baby, because I'm not really with everybody watching my baby. First of all, if y'all know me, y'all know. So this is already hard for me because I'm not displaced, but I'm feeling like I am. Like, I'm moving and functioning as if I'm displaced, and it's really, really, really hard. And I feel like the only thing that's really keeping me strong right now is remembering the fact that I didn't lose my home. I lost my childhood home. There's a lot of things that I could get emotional about. Can y'all excuse me? I need y'all to close this door. I'm on a call. Thank you. Sorry. But it's like me just knowing that I'm not, it's not about me right now. It's not about me. It's not about, you know what I'm saying, me personally, I should say, because there's so many people who are hurting more than me right now. Like, there's so many people who, like, if I want to drive to LA, because that's where I live now, and go sleep in my bed, I have that option. I can't comfortably take advantage of that option because I'm thinking about everybody else who can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a thing. I don't know. I'm bothered. I'm bothered, and I honestly feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be. If I take my butt back to the house and I sit in that house, I'm gonna be calling Lorene every single day, boo-hoo crying, and that's all I'm gonna be good for. Is wasting tears. That's it. Like, if I'm gonna be crying, I'd rather be crying when I'm working. Me working is stopping me from crying. I'm not sitting here feeling guilty and all in my head. It becomes all mental. You feel me? So for me, I'm outside with it. I'm 10 toes down. I'm on the front line, and it's where I'm gonna stay until I see more and more resources being brought to my city. Because right now, to keep it real, a lot of people don't have insurance. They don't. A lot of people's insurances are playing with them. People, it's just a lot of things, and you know what I'm saying. It's just, that's what I'm on. I'm focused on tunnel vision right now. And like I said, I think I was built for this, honestly.
Absolutely. I think you were. And I want to bring Brittany in because you too, I mean, Charity too, but you all are mamas. You know what I mean? And you responded right away. You guys started opening beds at Butterflies Haven. You guys started accepting donations. You started trying to coordinate donations. How has the mamahood come into play when you're trying to serve on such a big level, Brittany?
Oof. That has been tough, but I've been able to navigate. So for me, I have one child that goes to school in Santa Monica, so his school was shut completely down um, due to how close the fires were there. So and then the air quality here in Los Angeles was horrible. So I basically round all my children. None of my children have been at school. They reopened schools today. They shut them down like towards the ending of last week. But I kept my children home today just to fill out because over the weekend the air quality.
Uh-oh.
I think we're losing you again.
I think so.
Let's ask Dr. Charity.
Dr. Charity, you want to fill
He
in while we try to figure out the
was
the
crazy, but I also have
audio? Oh,
like
Hello,
so
Miss Brittany.
You going in and out on us, Miss Brittany. So when we figure out what the technical thing we can get for that, we're muting your mic right now. But as soon as we get back to you, we coming back. But Dr. Charity, we trying to hear that same thing from you.
Yeah, I mean, along the lines of what everyone else is saying, I think the beautiful thing about being a mom or just a parent in general is you understand what others need and what others are going through, based on what you're feeling. So for me in particular, I was fortunate to be far enough to not be impacted by the fires, and for my kids to have support here, that I was able to really look at them and feel how some of these other parents may be feeling, and having conversations with them about like what would we do, or what are some of your needs, and especially talking to my friends who are parents who lost everything. And one of my friends, her daughter, out of everything that was lost, she's like, my Percy Jackson book collection, just devastated. And so reminding that the little things that, we adults may not care about mean the world to these children and to these babies. And so while we're navigating our adult feelings and trying to do our best to survive and to thrive and to make do, giving space to the kids for me, and what they're feeling and what they're going through, I think is equally important, because sometimes we get in the habit of, forgetting that they're human too, and forgetting that they're feeling and that they're going through this, and they don't have answers, and that they need answers to a degree, because they're just as, her kids were traumatized. A lot of the kids I've talked to are like traumatized, and they just want to know what's going on, what's next, lay my head next, what am I going to eat, what am I going to wear. And so as a mom, I just feel so much empathy and compassion for the kids and the parents that are going through this, and leveraging that intuition and that mama-ness to really question how I can support other parents and other moms, because I can't imagine what I will go through, if I was in their position, what I would grab. Like, I don't think anyone's ever sat down and asked themselves, what would you grab in that moment. When I did that exercise with my kids, I realized we would not know what to grab in 5 minutes. Hell, we wouldn't know where to find half the things we bought for moments like this. We don't even know where we tucked them away. And so knowing that level of anxiousness, and then everyone in LA County got this emergency alert to evacuate immediately. And I remember my kids being terrified in that moment, and it was false. It was a false alert. It was a warning, more so, not a you have to evacuate. But I remember that feeling of everyone looking out the window and seeing if there was a fire, seeing if there was smoke, and what would we grab, and packing our bags. So just as a mom, your heart, you just feel the most vulnerable in this situation. You feel powerless to really help your babies and help yourself. And so, just only imagining what people that were truly proximate to that, in that moment were feeling just breaks my heart, and just trying to be there to support them. And also remember, there's a level of pride that goes with this too, of losing something and people asking you what you need and being willing to receive help. I've seen some of that too, with people not knowing how to say I need help or I need support. And so that's when we just really have to step up and be like, I got you, sis. I got you, bro. I got you, person. And lean in and support folks. But it's just, and there's no right or wrong answer to it either, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Yeah. And I wanted to give Brittany a chance to come back on and kind of share with us what you were saying, because your audio went out. We were asking you about the way in which you're, balancing mommyhood, and you kept your kids home from school. And I think that's the last thing I heard. So did you want to pick up from there?
Yeah, I was saying that I kept my kids home from school, but I've had like family support. But I reached out to my best friend, and she jumped in right away and was like, she's willing to help. Her family was actually impacted in the Altadena area. They lost everything, three generations. And she's been with me every day from 8, maybe 8 a.m. until midnight the next day. But the first night when I jumped on the call with the text thread with Charity and you, Lorene, she was with me at the store as we was navigating, just getting donations in and navigating, putting things in order to open the drop for the next morning. And we've been going back and forth to Altadena, Pasadena, and to the families. But being able to just come, like the children, they understand, because they have all of their friends that are all talking about it. They're all talking about it, and they're like, Mom, what do you need? And I just told them, like, I need support with everyone taking turns and shifts around Crimson to make sure that we can continue to show up for others, and the importance of it. But it is tough, because the next part to Charity point is having the conversation, if we did have to evacuate, what will we
What is
take?
that first?
Where will we
Yeah.
go? What would be the first thing? And having that as a reality to even have to think about is really scary. But it was important for us to do what we're doing because there are other mothers that are affected. There are partnering orgs that were affected that lost shelters that recently just had opened. Mass Liberation is one of them. They lost 2 shelters housing 60 individuals. Um, that's already tough within itself. A lot
Yeah.
of them are former foster youth and then also impacted by the judicial system to then come home and have some sense of stability that is now gone yet again. So,
Yeah. And I just want to, just because I want to make this real to us who are not in the area, right? Whether we're in Northern California or some other state. When you look around Los Angeles, because it's a tourist destination normally, when you look around, what is it that you see now? And Melissa, you can answer the question too, because I know you haven't asked any questions because you're inside of it. But when you look around, I think when Crystal called me, she said it reminded her of Gaza. I don't know. So you guys explain to me, when you look outside, what are you seeing? Melissa?
Yeah, I can go. I think it's for me where I am, the sky was black. And that is a terrifying thing to wake up to. Like in LA, you can wake up and anywhere for the most part, you can wake up and the sunrise is really pretty. But I woke up and looked in the direction of the fires after almost not being able to sleep because I didn't know what was going to happen in the middle of the night, and the sky is black, and like I just don't know how to deal with that. That's what I saw from my house. But like, I have friends and family. I have friends who live in Pasadena and Altadena who I go to school with at Berkeley who don't have a place to live anymore. People who I have seen every single day. I have an aunt who is evacuated and still can't go back to her house. So like, seeing the stuff on the news or the things that are on social media that people will just scroll past or drop mean comments about and walk away, like that's very real for me. Like I have people who genuinely don't have anything to go back to. So it looks completely unreal. Even some of the tourist spots, like you said, LA is a tourist destination, but there are certain cities specifically like Malibu and Santa Monica, like those beachy places that people want to go to that you cannot go to anymore. Like the things that people will come to see that they will not give a second thought to once they leave LA or California are not here or are forever changed. And that's something that a lot of people, including myself, like, I don't know what you're supposed to do after this. After it's going to be rebuilt, it's still never going to be the same.
Brittany, what are you seeing? And I don't know if Crystal's still on because I can't see. Oh, are you sitting in the dark, baby? I can't see.
I'm not in the dark, but I'm in a tinted car and it's getting dark outside. But
Oh, okay. So let me go to you first and then I'll come to Brittany. But what are you seeing out when you look around? Because in Altadena, the whole town is decimated, right?
Yeah, and I've seen enough on social media to where mentally I'm not prepared to go see my city. Honestly, I'm just not. It's gonna throw me off. Like my energy, my just a lot. I'm just not ready. But in Dina, when I went to Pasadena, when we first started our drive, we started the next day. So the fire was like Wednesday night, Thursday morning. We was out there setting up the drive, and so every day has been different. Like that first day, it was real smoky. We like masks wasn't even an option. Like you had to wear a mask. You even needed some for your eyes because it was still. It was just product was everywhere. It was just stuff everywhere. And then even that first night, we started to smell like I don't know what. I don't really remember what it was. I think the campfire had started. It was like more fire starting that next day somewhere. And it was just smoky. It smelled like somebody's chimney was burning. That's how close it was. Um, and obviously it's been finally getting some type of containment. So,
Mhm.
you know, it's starting to clear up and stuff. But as far as Altadena, it looked like somebody came and airdropped bombs on the city. Like the houses look like what we were seeing in them Gaza, that the, you know, when Gaza was getting attacked and all that, it looked identical, honestly.
Mm.
Just
Yeah.
excluding, you know, some other things, but it's very, very similar. Like, it's just it looked like a movie set. Like it looked like they did this for a movie. Like it's just so it's bizarre. It's bizarre. It's
Mm.
crazy to even like really be like, no, this is real, bro. Like for real, it's really happening. You
Wow.
know,
Yeah.
it's crazy. I'm not looking forward to going to go see the city with my own eyes at all.
Yeah, with
So,
the fire, there's usually like a frame or remnants of what was standing there, but a lot of the most of the homes, there's nothing. It's
Nothing.
ash, like literally like a bomb dropped on it. And that Thursday, I went to Pasadena to meet with some folks that were impacted to pass out things, and I drove in, opened my car door, and literally ashes just raining on you.
Mm.
My car was covered in ashes, and it was just like a constant, drizzling down of ashes no matter where you were. And it just felt so apocalyptic, so
mm,
close to like something just horrific. And I remember pulling up and seeing my friend, and I was like, I'm gonna be strong for her. I told her, you don't have to be strong right now, we're gonna be strong for you. And I get there, was not expecting to have a rain of ash, and just broke down crying while holding her, like just broke down crying, because you don't expect to like, see that. And we were further, we were in Pasadena, so we weren't as close to where her house burned down in Eaton and Altadena, and the ash was just pouring, and just showering down, and it was just devastating, and you're trying, and it's just, I just never experienced anything like that, never seen anything like that. The homes were completely destroyed. There's nothing left to look for. They're just destroyed, and it's
mm.
just devastating.
Only thing
Definitely.
standing is the stuff that was made out of concrete and bricks.
Exactly.
The chimneys, you
Yeah.
got houses gone.
Yeah.
It's just a chimney. It's
Right.
Yep.
just
Exactly.
whatever was concrete. We need to start making houses out of brick at this point.
Good.
It's
Cedar.
just
Brick
crazy.
house.
It's just crazy. Like it's like everywhere you go, you just see anything that was concrete is there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
but what I can also say is kind of strange. Damn near all of them trees is still standing. Huh? Like you live
Right.
in Altadena,
Right.
all these
What?
They
trees
call
is
up.
still standing. There's still leaves on some of these trees. Like it's,
Really?
I promise you, Altadena, you look, all the trees are still there.
Yeah.
All of
Yep.
them, they're all there.
That's crazy.
The
Like
roots are
I don't
there
even
strong though. Don't forget
understand.
y'all the
I don't
city of
get it.
roses. Y'all got a lot of roots up
Yeah.
under them grounds.
And them trees are old. Them is some old trees. So, but still, it's still crazy how
And I,
trees are just there. And
yeah.
Yeah.
so I don't know.
You
It's
can we the first week we walked out, and I live in Los Angeles off of like Manchester and Western, and there was ashes all on every car, the trees outside. And as we drove closer and closer to Altadena and Pasadena, you can see the smog, the smoke. You can smell it. When I had to go pick my son up from Santa Monica, you could smell the smoke, and the air was so like
Mhm.
very clouded. On our way back after we made the drop over the weekend, as we were driving back, it was just the skyline was like red. We were driving back around this time, so it was
Mm.
dark, and it was like it was something I've like seen on pictures before or seen in movies, and it was like this is really real for us, like, and it's
Mhm.
here. And yeah, there's trees that are standing with no homes, and chimneys that are still standing, and
Yeah.
homes are gone.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Fox wants to say something, and then I don't want to get off of this call without asking you all what you need. So Fox, we'll go to you, and then we'll come back to them and ask what they need.
not just what you need, but where do people, how do people get it to you? You know, I can see at the bottom of the screen, Brittany Walker, founder and CEO of Butterflies Heaven. I can see Dr. Charity. I can see Crystal, founder of Juicy Little. But one of the things I was thinking about as we was all sitting here talking is how amongst our community
Mm-hmm.
there's still rumors of what black love is. There's still rumors of what black folks do to each other because we have a lot of gangs and inner problems ourselves. And I wanted to highlight these as black areas that got burnt down, whole black communities. And these is black women that we have on our page that are standing up to help black people, and that's big to me as a black man. When I look on the screen and I'm like, man, who's doing the help out there? Here's this sister here. There's this sister here. That's the reason why I had wanted to give you guys your big ups for me. When I said it, I meant it genuinely from my heart. You got sisters that woke up that got their own kids who still, despite everything that's going on in the world and how they have been defecated on by our neighborhoods and the things we got going, you guys are still standing up to help whole black communities, being unselfish, not trying to steal the money and keep it for yourself like things have happened in the past. But these things are very harmful. And as I think about what's going on, me knowing trauma myself, I know sometimes we fight through it. We fight and we fight and we fight and we fight through it. It hasn't been a time break or a period yet where people have had the opportunity to really mourn the loss that has really happened for them. So I see you guys, you're fighting and you're going through it and you're going through it. And this isn't the only part that people are going to need help on. In another week from now, in another month from now, when people start adding up the total cost to what this is, like Dr. Chetty was saying, and Ms. Crystal was saying, these kids, they ask questions. Where's my Christmas gifts that we just got? Them gone. Them ain't coming back. Some of your schools ain't coming back. We ain't that bucket we had. That was all we can afford. We ain't gonna have that. Some of these kids, they're not gonna have the same friend sets no more because now they're displaced and put in other areas. And there's a trauma that comes along with that. There's a trauma that comes along with these insurance companies playing around with these people's money. There's a trauma that has to come with sleeping on somebody else's couch. When you want to feel like a person, a human being, and I just had my own, I'm not slumming on your couch. I really need help, so it's going to be a trauma that comes after this. So if people ain't opening up their eyes and ears and their hearts or their wallets to help now, or in your minds, what's going to happen for this aftermath trauma as well? Right. This is an opportunity for the black community to continue to come together. As Crystal said, she's seeing in her own eyes. She's seeing Bloods and Crips and rival neighborhoods on the front line together, passing out waters. You seeing these people come together, and I like what Miss Brittany said about keep it going. Yeah, keep it going. Don't let that be here just for a week. This same level of strength is going to be needed next month. Yeah. But that's my take on that. I appreciate all of y'all. I hope you guys continue to get the help y'all need. We can continue to do the part. People are texting our phone.
We're gonna ask them right now.
Right.
What do you all need? What is needed right now? I'm gonna start with Crystal, and then we'll go to Brittany, and then Charity. What do you need right now, baby?
Can Crystal go last?
Oh my goodness! Then you just
can, Crystal. Before I leave, let you know you can call our phone and cry again tonight. We got you. Love you, Crystal.
Don't put her on blast like that.
Love you, Crystal.
Brittany, what are you seeing that you guys need? Because what I'm seeing, just as I'm looking at social media, I'm looking at insurance. Insurances are dropping people. You have price gouging going on with Airbnbs and hotels and rental homes. You have some looting and arrests happening around the neighborhood, and then I was listening, like, yes, people are giving perishables in terms of food and stuff, but there's nowhere to store that stuff for folks who have been displaced. So can you tell us kind of what you need right now?
One, we need prayer for our city. But in the interim, I think the most important thing that we're needing is, and we're working on it. I know other orgs are working on it. It's us to actually identify families, all of the families that have been impacted, and see what their needs are for us to better serve them. Because a lot of them, even with the donations that we're getting, and they're picking up, to I forget the gentleman's name, but to his point, they're couch surfing.
Yeah.
And we're trying to identify how we can then place
And I'm
them,
getting,
whether it's temporary housing and or long-term housing, how we can go about creating something to where we're trying to negotiate with other landlords right now to see how we can
yeah. So I think we're getting every other word again, Miss Brittany. Your audio is going in and out, but I believe you said something about long-term housing. Identify, they're working with landlords to come up with some solutions for long-term housing. And hopefully she'll get back, jump back in so she can finish her point. Miss Charity, what are you seeing that you all need right now?
Yeah, I'll add that a lot. People want and need agency. So there are a lot of GoFundMe pages that are out there. There are different links we can share with trusted pages with folks that have created GoFundMe to support them. They need the ability to be able to, in addition to the things they're receiving, get the things that they need when they need it. One of the things about being displaced is you can't really always carry everything with you. So whatever they don't need in that moment are able to keep with them is very hard to travel with or transfer those things different places. So being able to have a gift card or have cash to purchase food when you need it is extremely important. There's also folks who need simple things. Like if you're in the LA area, there are people who need someone to watch their pet, you know, someone to, keep, house or store certain things from them that are valuable to them that they can't afford to store in a storage or don't have anywhere to store. One of the things we're doing at Costa LA is we're sending around a link asking people what do they need, but also asking other people what can you provide. So we've had people
Mm,
sign up already to say that I can watch someone's dog or I can, provide housing. Someone can, sleep in my house, or I can, babysit their kids for a few, moments. I could offer legal services. There's a lot of people who are navigating the complexities of what do I do with my insurance. You think if their
mm-hmm,
house burned down that they're not asking for that mortgage payment? Best believe they
mm,
are. How do I navigate having to pay these expenses and bills that are due, cars, notes that I have? How do I navigate calling them? Maybe I need someone to call for me because I'm exhausted. I don't have the energy to, call and wait on the line with all these folks because I am mourning the things that I've lost. So there are different ways we can show up to help people that aren't always, something tangible or being given to them. It's what can I
mm-hmm.
relieve you of? What burden can I take away? And so I'm happy to share that form when people can get creative and say, it may be small, but this is what I can do to help. I can watch your dog. And that will mean the world to somebody, knowing that their dog
Right.
is safe while they're trying to navigate, or their pet is safe while they're trying to navigate this space. But do find the accurate GoFundMe pages and donate, no matter what amount it is. Donate and then share the pages. And also donate to organizations like Butterflies Haven. In Crystal's organization, I prefer, we're going to go to them for items that we need. So send money to organizations that are collecting these items and collecting these donations so that orgs like mine can go and collect them and pass them out to people that need them.
And if they would, if Crystal and Brittany would put their contact or their GoFundMe, their Cash App, whatever in the chat so that we could share that, that would be amazing. And I'm gonna come back to Crystal because I know we were talking and yesterday and you were telling me you needed some things. So let's tell the people what it is that you were telling me. What do you see you guys needing right now, baby?
Um, right now, I'm gonna give a two-part answer because there's what our relief drive needs, which is the front line and what we need to actually give the families right now in this moment. And then there's also juicy little needs um, that, just things that I need support with in order to be successful with managing this amount. This is a very massive operation that I'm doing right now. But as
Mhm,
far as the actual relief drive, right now we're good on almost everything except for like gift cards and access to either hotels. It kind of goes hand in hand because we're using the Visa gift cards to give to them to pay for hotels. That's what we've been doing. But definitely access to temporary housing, or even if there's someone willing to sponsor a family or two, and help cover a week's worth of their stay somewhere, that's
mhm,
needed. And then yeah, just gift cards in general, like DoorDash, things like how you said, charity. These families need to be able to get what they need when they need it. They're coming to our drives. We're gonna give them what they need, but it's like they don't have all the room to just keep holding this stuff. And so that's where the need is on the relief side. Gift cards is like the main thing. Oh, sorry, I just went dark, huh? But as far as on the Juicy Little end,
Mhm.
we are a self-funded nonprofit. Everything I do it out of the strength of what the thrift store gains and my personal pocket. And I'm not really in a position to financially cover all of these expenses and,
So
my
what do
own
you need, baby?
overhead.
What do you need? Just tell us what you need.
Right now, I need money. I need money.
Okay.
I need containers. Um, we, storage is a thing. I do appreciate the space. I do want to take advantage of the space that you did share. But I also am gonna need like just longer term as well, something that I'm a little more in control of. Um, but really right now it's just funds, money to be able to get the supplies, the items that I need to be right now. Just to give you guys a heads up, what I'm working on with this massive supply of clothes, it's not just organizing it, but right now we're sorting through, we're pulling out brand new and like new things, and we are setting up different clothing closet hubs around LA and the Pasadena, Altadena surrounding cities. But these
Mhm.
clothing closets are getting prepared to open up for families. They're not going to be open to the public. They are going to be referral based for the families once they are confirmed and just verified. They're going to have access to these locations when they need them. And we're not going to start that until February, March, April. And so right now, everything that I'm doing is for, the post relief part when people kind of get a little bit out of shock. They do start to get somewhere to stay, a little bit long term. When people kind of do start figuring it out, we want to make sure that we still have supplies and good things to give them. We're always going to
Mhm.
have the thrift store. There's always used goods, but right now we're preserving a lot of the stuff because there's a surplus of clothes all throughout the city right now. Not sure if you guys seen the news, but Santa Anita Mall has like a football field worth of clothes sitting there in their parking lot. So there's a lot of clothes going on right now. And I'm just more worried about making sure that we have everything and the right things and the good things for the months to come. And so that's what I'm on. And any type of monetary support, gift cards, Zelles, Cash Apps, all of that is needed because a lot of the extra things I had that would have been helpful, like the extra racks, the extra all the containers I had was in Altadena in my storage space. So I don't have those things to use anymore. So I have to get more. But that's what I need. Money.
I'm sorry, I just had a question because it's cold outside. Do you feel as though yes, there's a surplus of clothes, so maybe not sending more clothes, but do you feel like we should start sending blankets, pillows, maybe
Right
sleep?
now, we don't need any hold. If you have it, hold it. Don't buy nothing. Right now, there's not a need with that stuff. We have a surplus
Okay.
of the
Yeah,
items right now. It's right now we
it's
have so much that
monetary.
we can't store it, so we're not even
Mhm.
accepting anymore. So
Okay.
it's like just yeah. It is cold,
Okay.
but it's like we have a
It's
lot
more
of a lot.
monetary.
We
Yeah,
just need to be
okay.
able to sort it, organize it, and store it for the times that the people need it. And that's what
Got
I'm on
you. Got
right
you,
now.
got you.
And your Cash App, Crystal,
Little,
is what?
juicy little, juicy like juicy and little like little.
All
I
one
just
word?
sent it. Yeah, I just sent it with the $sign. I'm also including the phone number for our Zelle.
And because I like to make sure that we are present and we are intentional with our time, I will be flying into town possibly Wednesday night, Thursday morning. I
Okay.
think Jazz is gonna come with me and Tevin. So you'll have three of us for at least a couple days, and we want to just be useful
Okay. Y'all want to be on
and
the
to
front
check on
line?
you.
Mhm.
You said what now?
Okay. We got frontline opportunities and background opportunities. So you let me know
I
which
want to
one you're
deal with the
looking at.
children. I want to check on some kids.
I do.
All right.
So wherever we need to be, however y'all need to use us, let's do that. But you know, I'm never gonna say, you know, it's enough to just, um, it's enough to just look and watch and let other people hold that, because I'm concerned about you all too. Whenever we are doing things and our people are on the front lines, we have to also understand that they need support too. So I'm coming to support y'all how you want me to support you.
Right.
I'm not just going to be a phone call away. I'm going to be right there in your city, and we'll go get some food or something, or I'll stop what I'm doing and make sure that you all are resourced and energized to continue the fight. Brittany, you good with that? Me coming to see y'all for a couple of days?
I'm always happy to see you, sis. Always happy to have you here.
And Charity, you good with me coming to see y'all?
Of course, of course. So I just walked in the house. You're gonna hear all these kids.
Oh Lord.
Second.
Well, that's cool.
But yeah, I'll come to see you.
So we have put a couple of links in the chat for you all who may want to reach out and provide some funds to both Butterflies Havens and Juicy Little Society. They are on the front lines. They are doing big things, and they need our support. As much as you can give. You heard they talked about gift cards. They talked about monetary donations. They talked about storage containers. They talked about so any other supplies to things to store. They need that right now. In terms of storage, Brittany, I will share your contact with Crystal after we get off this call. And then Crystal, you were talking about access to housing. I believe I heard Brittany say they have 3 beds open right now in LaSalle. So we're going to coordinate with you all to make sure you all have each other's contact information, and that way if you have families that need immediate rooms right now and Brittany has them, we can go ahead and get those filled. So thank you all so much for joining us. I know we went over time just a little bit, but it was important. And so we're going to hit y'all with the peace sign. We're going to check y'all out sometime next week, maybe, if we're not still in LA. So I'm going to hit y'all with the peace sign. We'll see y'all next time. Peace out.
Well, bye.